agree ako kay Secretary. Totoong sinasabi niya talaga, no? Yung aming gasto sa kanya-kanya. Alam mo, hindi ako nakaka-advertise sa TV. Dito lang sa SMNI ang kaya ko. Hindi ko biro mo naman sa isang malaking stasyon, 30 seconds, 643,000. How can you afford that? Kung hindi ka,
Pakiulit po.
643,000 for a 30-second advertisement.
Kasama na yung 50% discount, ha?
Hindi ko alam, pero yun ang rate na binigay nila.
Nandun po yan sa COMELEC Resolution 10730.
Anyway, I'm just telling you, ganda ng bayaran. So, how can a candidate now who never stole money, wala naman siyang pork barrel, wala naman siya, ayaw niya kumuha ng pera kung saan mga malalaking how can you afford that?
Thank you, Dr. Padilla. Let's move on to Padilla and Ms. Kiram.
Talagang may problema ang political system natin, no? Talagang it's very hard for good people who don't have money to win. Totoo yun, no? So talagang nagkakalabanan sa pera. And we have to really amend it, no? Tapos siguro voter education, importante. Pero may pag-asa ko tayo kasi ang dami mga kabataan ang bumoboto ngayon. At nakikita ko sa kanila na naghahanap talaga sila ng mga bago. Naghahanap sila ng mga tao na iba, no? Sawa na sila sa luma. So it seems there's hope. And we need to give them that hope. But the COMELEC, for example, the party list system, may mga iba talagang represented by the nurses, hindi sila binigyan ng accreditation. Iba naman, hindi mo intindihan kung ano yun, binibigyan ng accreditation. So, there's so many rumors that abound. Magkano daw magpa-party list, etc., etc. So, you cannot blame the people. So, yes, we need to do major reforms in the COMELEC, just as we have to do major reforms sa ating electoral system. And methods. That's thank you.
So shouldn't you shift, Dr. Padilla, to a parliamentary system because all the challenges you have identified will in fact be resolved under that system?
I am actually open to a parliamentary system of government and even a federal system. One thing about the federal system, like magkakakampi kami sa same party, pero in effect, we're competing against each other. Because the senators are representing nothing except the whole country. If you had a federal system, we would be representing a certain region at least. Hindi kami mag-aaway, di ba? At least there'll be some order. So yes, I'm open to both.
Okay, let's go back to
Dr. Padilla, Daphne, please.
Yes.
Dr. Padilla, nabigyan na ba kayo ng prescription ng butante at hiningihan kayo ng pera?
Prescription?
Ng gamot?
Marami ho yun.
Minsan, 2 taon na nakalipas.
Opo, alam ko ho yun. Tama ho yun. Alam namin yun. Marami na hong ganon. Yung nangyayari sa Ukraine, di ba? Invaded by Russia. Everybody was saying, hindi gagawin ni Putin yan, hindi siya sirang ulo. Pero ginawa niya, unprovoked. Ngayon, sa North Korea, he keeps testing nuclear warheads. Hindi gagawin yan. Pero who knows? I think that's the reason why America is putting nuclear warheads in Japan and South Korea. Ngayon, we have to demand more in the treaty and treat us like an ally, more like an ally than a little brown brother. So we can also defend ourselves and help more.
Follow-up question for Dr. Padilla about the Ukraine crisis that you mentioned. You've said that Putin attacked or had a military intervention in Ukraine unprovoked. Do you really think it's unprovoked if what is happening right now and the action of Putin, given that, Ukraine is being persuaded or to a certain extent influenced by the West in joining NATO. And if you look at it, NATO is a military alliance. So if Ukraine will be part of NATO, to a greater extent, there's a possibility that nuclear warheads will be in Ukraine. Do you really think it's unprovoked, given that it's a border country between Ukraine and Russia?
Okay, I believe that Russia really attacked Ukraine because they were afraid that they were going to join NATO. No, because pag sumali ang Ukraine sa NATO, lahat ng former USSR, NATO na. Okay? And it's the closest to Russia, and they can definitely attack them. So but it was not provoked by an attack. It was not provoked by an attack. That's different.
So do you think Russia doesn't have any right to defend its national security, given that it's being threatened by the very fact that, there's a possibility that will be military bases in there and also nuclear weapons in Ukraine, if in any case it will be part of NATO. Do you think so?
I don't think they had the right to attack the way they're doing, because Ukraine also has a right to put whatever they want there in order to protect themselves from an attack by Russia. That's none of the business of Putin. It's a different country already. If they had started attacking him, if I said they had started doing other attacks, for example, cyber attacks, a little bit of weapons, then maybe yes, it would have been provoked. But it is the right of Ukraine, self-determination.
Thank you, Dr.
Okay, we
Padilla.
have, before we have